People say childhood dreams don't mean anything. They say your brain mixes imagination with fear and creates monsters that disappear when you grow up. But what if it wasn't a dream? What if it was a memory your mind tried to hide? I was around 8 years old when I had the dream. It was always the same. A massive building stood in front of me at night. Stone stairs stretched upward like they would never end. At the top were two identical wooden doors, side by side. I was sitting on the stairs with my dad. My mom and my sister walked up ahead of us. Without hesitation, they opened the door on the right and disappeared inside. And that's when the feeling hit me. Something was wrong. Not the normal kind of fear you feel as a kid. This was deeper. Heavier. Like I suddenly knew they were in danger. Without telling my dad, I stood up and climbed the stairs. I pushed open the right door. Inside, the world changed. It was dark except for a single spotlight in the center of what looked like an old theater stage. And standing there was a conductor. But not a normal one. His skin hung from his bones like it was melting. Greasy strands of hair clung to his scalp. His eyes bulged slightly from their sockets. He wore a torn suit jacket and held a conductor's baton. He was conducting something. But there was no orchestra. No instruments. Just loud, chaotic music echoing from nowhere. Then his head slowly turned toward me. I remember his eyes locking onto mine. I screamed. I ran out of the building, past my dad. And that's where the dream ended. I had it multiple times growing up. I always thought it was just my imagination. Fast forward to 8th grade. My school band won a trip to Mackinac Island in Michigan. None of us had been there before, at least, I didn't think I had. The island was beautiful. No cars allowed. Just bikes, horses, and old-fashioned buildings. We took the ferry across the water. The air smelled like salt and summer. My friends and I rented bikes and started riding through town. Then I saw it. And my entire body went cold. The building. The stairs. The two doors. It was exactly the same. The same structure from my dream. I stopped pedaling. My friends kept going, laughing, not noticing I had frozen in the middle of the street. A wooden sign outside read, "The Haunted Theater." My heart was pounding. This wasn't possible. I hated haunted houses as a kid. Why would something like that appear in my dream? The rest of the trip felt off. Like I had already lived it. A constant sense of déjà vu followed me everywhere. When I got home, I asked my mom something casually. "Did we ever go to Mackinac Island when I was little?" She smiled. "Yeah, when you were about 7. My stomach tightened. "Did you and my sister go inside some kind of haunted theater attraction?" She laughed. "Oh yeah. You followed us in and got terrified. You ran out crying." Everything went silent in my head. 4 years. I thought it was a nightmare. It wasn't. It was a memory. My brain had twisted it into a dream. Reality suddenly felt fragile. Like maybe memory and imagination weren't as separate as I thought. Years later, when I was 19, something else happened. This one still doesn't sit right with me. A close friend of mine was home on leave from the Marines. I let him sleep in my bed while I took the couch in the living room. It was an L-shaped sectional couch. An ottoman sat near my feet. The hallway light was left on, faintly illuminating the room. At some point during the night, I woke up. But it was strange. It was like I became conscious before I opened my eyes. When I finally did open them, something was standing beside the ottoman. 3 or 4 feet tall. Too small to be a person. Too solid to be a shadow. Its body was human-shaped, but thin. Greasy, stringy hair covered most of its face. The hallway light behind it made it mostly a silhouette. But I knew it was looking at me. The second our eyes met, a wave of terror flooded my body. Not panic. Not confusion. Pure dread. The kind that makes your blood feel cold. I immediately closed my eyes and turned toward the back of the couch. I didn't move. I didn't breathe loudly. I just lay there. And then I heard it. Not out loud. Not exactly. But clearly. A whisper inside my mind. I saw you see me. Don't act like you didn't. Every muscle in my body locked. I didn't respond. I didn't open my eyes. I just stayed completely still. Eventually, I heard my friend wake up and walk to the bathroom. The toilet flushed. He returned to the bedroom. At some point, I must have fallen asleep. At breakfast the next morning, my friend looked at me and said, "Dude, I woke up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom and I swear your house felt haunted." I nearly dropped my fork. I didn't tell him what I saw. But the fear came back instantly. I've experienced sleep paralysis before. I've had lucid dreams. I've had false awakenings. This wasn't like any of those. I could move. I wasn't frozen. And whatever that thing was, it reacted to me seeing it. That's the part one can't explain. Maybe the theater was just a repressed childhood memory. Maybe the shadow figure was a hallucination caused by half-sleep. Science would probably explain both. But there's something unsettling about one detail. The whisper. I saw you see me. Not, "You're dreaming." Not random noise. It acknowledged awareness. As if it knew I wasn't supposed to notice. As if it existed in the space between sleep and reality. Most of us trust what we see. We trust our memories. We trust that when we wake up, the world is stable and solid. But sometimes, a dream turns out to be real. And sometimes, when you wake up, something is already there. Watching. And if you ever open your eyes in the middle of the night and see something standing beside your bed, you might want to pretend you didn't. Because if it knows you saw it, it might decide to step closer next time.